Good evening. This fine day, I had a discussion with a friend, or should I say friends, online in a forum. In this discussion, it was discussed an incident in which a conspiracy theorist who believed that the moon landing was a hoax addressed a former astronaut. And this astronaut, in response to this address, delivered a blow with a closed fist to the gentleman's face. And many people had the reaction of finding this comedic, and that they felt that some kind of justice had been served. Firstly, I wonder to myself what justice was served. This person merely expressed his doubt as to the happenings of the moon landing. And while I do understand that maybe having one's achievements doubted publicly may cause a person to feel upset, the justification that this blow was deserved, I feel, is a little drastic. Is it appropriate to use physical violence for political aims? When discussing certain groups that are allegedly violent in their philosophies, many people will argue, and have argued with me, that violence is the only tool that will be used to quell them, and that it is important to deny them a platform with the use of physical violence. And if that is the case, in this case, no violent ideology was being espoused. Why then is it acceptable to punch a conspiracy theorist? The arguers were saying to me that it was an act of cruelty to doubt the person's previous achievements, and that this is why people should accept the social risks of their actions, such as being punched in the face. And this person then continued to say that I wouldn't understand that because I was raised by a insert sexist slur. My father died of a brain tumor from stopping a nuclear power plant meltdown, and I told him this, and I told him that I was insulted by it, and that since he had insulted me, that entitled me to the use of violence in this case. I asked him, I did not tell him that it entitled me to it, because I disagree with that thought. But I asked him if it entitled me to physical violence. And he said that oh well, your parents would have judged you more harshly than I ever would. And I told him that this twice was an insult, and that if it was acceptable to use violence for the trespass of someone belittling an achievement or doubting your achievement, then why would it not also be an equal social response to use physical violence to address an insult at my family's honor? And he said, you can try, but you had better make sure I can't hit you back. So there we go into the next issue. So that implies that he would retaliate. Then, if the correct response to having someone belittle your achievements is to strike them, this is justified because you are defending yourself against that slight. But if you have been slighted and you strike them and then they strike you back, what does that mean? Does that mean that they are therefore defending themselves against your defense, against their accusation? And if so, that means that it is going to perpetually escalate, because then in order for me to say that I have to attack him even more now, I have to do something even more dramatic, I have to make sure he can't hit me back. So it suggests that I may have to retaliate with lethal force right from the beginning in response to an insult. And I asked him why not, and he said, again, you can try. And this creates a philosophy in which escalating force is the arbiter of all social ills, and extreme initiation of violence is also an equal arbiter. And it is for these reasons that I tend to think political violence is always less than optimal.